They're all part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a government project, of condemned souls that have nothing to do. That the most important thing is the Christian that they are babysitting. You know, that's it. You know, there's nothing more. And so you can't argue with them because they stand against you. They're trying their best to condemn you. They're trying their best to get you to kill somebody. They're trying their best to make you look out, to make you look to be the bad guy. You know, that's what it is. And I'm going to keep speculating so that everybody understands that this world was waiting for us. That the only way that you're able to convince society to give you a car, to let you have a car, to allow you to live, the only way that you're able to convince the society to give to you is by gaining immortality. It's the only way. It's the only way that they're going to allow you. Because my life is over. I've never had nothing. Never had a birthday party. Never went into a restaurant. Never had anything. And my life is over. Do I believe that God brought me to this world to suffer, to be humiliated? God damn, I've been in Mexico for too long. Humiliated? To be spit at and abused my entire life? Do I believe that? No. I believe that if God gave me life, that I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm not going to die having never enjoyed life. Watching enormous pieces of shits prance around, living a free life. I don't believe it. And if so, well then I'm gonna die having never enjoyed life. That's it. But I choose to believe that I will gain immortality, and that I'll be able to have a birthday party. I'll be able to have some rollerblades. I'll be able to fly a kite. I'll be able to get on a hot air balloon, jump off a plane with a parachute, scuba dive, draw, paint, have a PlayStation. With everything that I'm seeing, with all these individuals that come prepped to manipulate, to deceive, to throw indirects at me, to censor my reality, to mess with the food products. After everything that I've seen, where they feed dogs and fuck with dogs, and they have piss water in convenience stores, where their diet is meat. That's really sick. And I have that sensation. I got the sensation of being around fat people, how they live. A fat person walks around, all bathed and fresh, and supposedly they always come out of their mud huts. Most of them come out, all fresh and all, smelling like something, like shampoo. But the reality is that these fat people, they have a way of living that's disgusting. That's disgusting. A sensation of life where they're constantly eating meat, and I imagine right now my stomach it's growling, you know. I've never felt that. I've never felt that. A pain in my stomach. I imagine that's the way they feel. Imagine that's the way they feel, constantly hungry. And so I just wanna say that this is very messed up, that nobody is acting whatsoever, and that again the conclusion to my life is that I gain immortality. Because all these kids and all these people, all these adults and all these people that are surrounding me, to be honest, from my point of view, I could see that they're condemned. I could see that they're lying. I could see that they're trying to manipulate, deceive, and condemn. That's all they're around me for. I know that, like I said, people might not understand that what I'm saying, that there's an administration of condemned souls that have surrounded me. That when I was born, little by little, the administration kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and right now at the age of 40, these neighborhoods that I often go into, they're all closed off. And that the majority of them, that there's like a good 30-40% of them that all look the same. Hogs. And nobody seems to notice. Like anybody else from the general population doesn't seem to notice this 40% of individuals that look identical. No one seems to notice. You know. And so all that's irrelevant, all that's irrelevant, because the bottom line is, are you going to die having never enjoyed life? That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Because it's kind of stupid to have an underworld administration try to manipulate when there's no time. When their therapy is full of lies. If you're going to throw a therapy, if you're going to try to manipulate, with a certain amount of people, why not, show some effort? Something that gains credibility. Not immense amount of lies and all this shit that's everywhere that you could easily see and distinguish. So I say to myself, am I going to die having never enjoyed life? Or am I gonna, believe this therapy that's gonna take me to I don't know what, that's gonna lead me to be condemned to be like them, basically, I guess. Or am I gonna gain immortality? Or am I gonna gain immortality and I'm gonna separate myself from such stupidity? In which case, I could almost predict the sequence of the administrations that will fall behind. And it's very simple. I mean, it's very logical. It's very understandable. But I guess I have to make more videos, and this is the end of 2026. I mean, the end of 2025. This is what I have to say about this year, that it's all bullshit, and that bottom line, I guess I'm gonna die having never enjoyed life. Not unless I'm crazy, or not unless I'm really blessed and I gain immortality, in which case everybody will know. And I will become famous beyond famous. Let's see what happens.